Good day, Miss. I'm Santos from BSBA 2B. So define the following. First is GDP. Gross Domestic Product is the total market value of all goods and services produced within countries' borders during specific period, like a year or quarter. Example is the value of cars produced by Toyota in the Philippines. Next is the GNP or Gross National Product. Is the total market value of goods and services produced by citizens or nationals of the country, regardless of whether production occurs inside or outside the country. Example is the income earned by Filipinos working abroad or the OFWs. So next is the exports. Goods and services produced domestically and sold to other countries. Example is Philippine banana sold to Japan. So next is the imports. It is the goods or services produced abroad and purchased by residents of a country. Example is a Philippine consumer buying iPhones made in USA or made in China. So last is the net exports. So it is the difference between countries' exports and imports. So the formula is net exports equals exports minus imports. So example is if the Philippines exports 50 million worth of goods and imports 60 million worth of goods. So the net exports is equals to 50 million minus 60 million is equals to negative 10 million. So number 2 is differentiate gross domestic product and gross national product and explain the difference and give examples. So gross domestic product measures the production within a country's borders, regardless of who produces it, while the gross national product measures production by the nationals of a country, regardless of where they produce it. So it is the location versus ownership of production. So example is a Japanese company operating in the Philippines contributes to Philippines GDP or the gross domestic product, and while a Filipino worker in Dubai contributes the in gross national product. So number 3 is differentiate exports from imports and net exports and explain the difference and give examples. So exports is the goods and services sold to other countries. It is the inflow of money, while imports is the goods and services both from other countries, so it is the outflow of money. And the net export is the balance between exports and imports. So example is if the Philippines sells mangoes to the US, so it earns dollars, so that is the exports. Well, if it buys oil from Saudi Arabia, so it is import, so it spends dollars. And the net exports is if the exports is 100 million and the imports is 80 million, so net exports is equals to 100 million minus 80 million, so it is equals to 20 million. So that is the trade supplies. So number 4 is what are the methods in computing gross domestic product, their formula. So there are 3 approaches of computing the gross domestic product. So first is the expenditure approach. So the formula is gross domestic product equals to consumption plus investments plus government spending and plus the net exports. So the second approach is import approach. It is gross domestic product equals wages plus rent plus interest plus profits plus taxes on production and imports minus the subsidies. So the last one is the production or value added approach. So gross domestic product is equals to gross value of output minus intermediate consumptions. So it adds the value added at each step of production across industries. So last is state examples of each category subcategories from the main category. And the formula in computing gross domestic product approaches. So the formula is gross domestic product equals to consumption plus investment plus government and plus net exports.